Hey guys, it's Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. We are back for video number 3 in this series. This fun fold sending hugs card is the one that kicked off the whole thing for me. When I saw the Eden's Garden collection, I knew right away that I saw potential in the stamps and I saw potential outside the suite. So the Eden's Garden collection is a gorgeous collection of lush greens. It's available now to January 3rd while supplies last. So the Eden's Garden bundle is $58. You can save 10% when you buy it as a bundle, the stamps and the dies together. The Eden's Garden stamp set is a 10-piece rubber stamp set, and the dies are a 5-piece coordinating set, not necessarily a matching set. Beautiful bundle, great for all occasions, and I wanted to really show the potential of this. So we're going to take it outside the Ever Eden green palette today. Now, don't get me wrong, this Ever Eden's designer series paper is gorgeous. The cotton paper is really cool, and the garden gems are beautiful. I just got my very first package today. UPS came. You can buy the whole collection and still get the bundle discount for $82. But I'm hoping to inspire you and take it out of the suite. So we're going to pair up our Eden's Garden bundle with the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. So let me show you that designer series paper. When you purchase $82 or more using the host code, so if you purchase the Eden's Garden collection, MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net, and you use the host code, I'm going to send you that host code bonus that you just saw. It's a class packet that includes one each of these Peaceful Place Designer Series 6x6 papers and the kit to make today's card and this bag. These videos, this is video number 2 in the series. I'll link to it below the video. There's quick link series. Oh, and this card. So this class packet that you will receive automatically to your address on file at Stampin' Up when you go to MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net, place an $82 order or more, and I'm going to send you this packet right to your address on file with Stampin' Up. All right, so let's get started with this card. It's a little fun fold card. And so we need a card base, and our card base is basic gray. I've got my Simply Score tool in my card base. We're gonna pop this in on the 8 3/4 inch side. So it's 8 3/4 by 4 1/4, and we're gonna score at 3 1/4. That's our little fun fold. It's gonna have a little short peekaboo inside, a little short front with a peekaboo inside. Work the score lines. And there is our little fun fold. I've got my designer series paper. I cut it already from the Peaceful Place, and this is 3 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to adhere that down with liquid glue. And then next we're going to stamp. We're going to get that Eden's Garden stamp set and have some fun. I have a piece of basic white cardstock here. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is to line my peekaboo inside. I've got a piece of basic white. We punched this one using a 1.5 inch circle punch. I went ahead and I stamped and cut out one of the largest bouquet from Eden's Garden, since we're going to fussy cut that, but we're going to do 2 of those. So I need a scrap of basic white. And my ink pads for today are basic gray and tuxedo black. I'm going to start with sending hugs. I love this greeting, but I really love the inside outside, sending hugs on the outside. And inside we're going to put my heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. And I think that that's so cute. All right, so let's stamp sending hugs on our 1.5 inch circle. And for the inside, here's our greeting. We're going to put my heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything on the center of our inside panel. I've got a pretty little vine here for the inside. I'm going to ink up in basic gray. and then stamp off on some grid paper, and then use it to accent right underneath that sentiment. Slide that one aside, and now we need another one of these bouquets. Got this guy here. We're not going to stamp off this time. We're just going to stamp it full strength and cut it out. Got my paper snips, and I'm going to just give this a little bubble cut. All right, we've got our little fuzzy cut bouquet ready to go. Let me show you a couple more die cut pieces here. A few things that we did ahead of time for this card. We've cut a couple of pieces from Petal Pink for your kit. The largest, Stitch So Sweetly, scalloped stitched rectangle. That's from Petal Pink. Then we also cut a smoky slate liner for that one. That's 3 5/8 by 2 1/2. Other Petal Pink shape is this label, this small scalloped end label from the Seasonal Labels dies. Then we've got a little swoopy square, the tiny one. I know, I always use the middle one. This time we got the tiny one. That's from Hippo and Friends dies. And if you've been watching the series, you recognize this. We've got a little vellum butterfly for you. And we die cut that using the Meadow dies. Well, we've got a clean space here before we bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to cut some of the Eden die piece, to cut our Eden's die piece. Let's color our butterfly so we can have a minute to dry. So we're going to take that white butterfly from the kit and color it using Stampin' Blends. This is the light Calypso Coral. We'll color both sides. This butterfly is going to fling. I was squeezing it, and I'm waiting for it to fly away on me. All right, both sides. You can do another coat on the front side if you want it a little bit more vibrant. The vellum is not porous, and so it's only going to absorb so much of this color. That's why we're not coloring it with Petal Pink. We're using Calypso Coral because the vellum is going to resist a little bit. It's also going to take just a little bit to dry because of the non-porous nature. So set that to dry. Let's grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the small wreath from the Eden dies. Now you might have noticed that this was cut in the kit. We are going to cut this for you for your kit. But I wanted you to see, I've got some silver foil and then my beautiful wreath from the Eden dies. We'll pop that right on there and give it a crank. When you're cutting this little wreath, save this piece. The little deckled edge silver piece is a perfect layer for another project. So hold on to that. That is not discard. I'm going to take just a minute and check and get out these little center pieces. See, they're tiny little dots that really show how delicate this little wreath is. So just give a little push. They'll cut completely. Just the foil, sometimes they like to hold on. I got to reset my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to emboss because we are going to emboss this smoky slate piece. To emboss with a 3D folder, we need the platform, which is number 1, and then our 3D embossing folder. I'm using the Parisian Flourish here, and we will not emboss your piece for you or stamp your images in your host bonus packet. We're not allowed to stamp, and it'd just be too many to emboss. So you can substitute this folder with another one of your choice, or you can use the little vines, the smaller bits like we used for the inside of the card, and do kind of a random stamp with smoky slate on smoky slate. That would give you a nice visual texture too. So there's our embossed piece. Time to get some of these pieces glued together. When I've got too many pieces, that's when I tend to lose things. So let's add the liner to the inside of the card with liquid glue. We'll just center that right up in this inside. Lovely, sweet little sentiment, cute details. Now let's add our smoky slate embossed panel to our stitch scallop rectangle. And I'm generous with the glue because we've got a really deep impression here. And we want this to hold. Center that in the stitches. Now we're going to bring this over and we're going to center. But when we center, we want to be very careful where we put the glue. Only on 1/2 of the label. If you put it past the center mark, you're going to glue your card closed. And then we can just center that top to bottom, right to left. We want a nice even little peekaboo border there. You got a little time with the liquid glue to adjust. Ha, lovely. Gonna take our little bouquets and kind of dry fit them and add a little liquid glue. Then we can adhere our petal pink label and basic gray swoopy square. And then to that, sending hugs. 2 sides to every paper. Did you see that? I want it to go a little bit on an angle. We're sending hugs. So pretty. Now this little wreath piece, we can just dot the glue kind of along the wreath, drag the tip of the bottle and spread out those dots a little bit. Less is more. Don't go crazy. If you get too much glue and then you get glue on your fingers, then you take all the shine off of your foil. So just a little bit will do. Add that. Center. Just press down and hold it for a second till it grabs. Now the back of our sending hugs tag, we're going to use some tear and tape adhesive and do our little ribbon swoop. Let me bring that in there so you can see. I'm going to turn over and run 2 little parallel lines of tape here. You'll get a yard of ribbon in that kit and you want to work from the spool on one end and a little tail of ribbon across the tear and tape and tuck it on, then a little loop of ribbon and grab that tear and tape again, another little loop, and then bring it back to the opposite side. Just smoosh it right in that tear and tape as you go. And let's cut it away from the card. And I want to correct that angle. I want this one to go that way. There we go. Now dimensionals. I'm going to use the edge here. So I'm going to get some kind of long pieces. And I'm going to put them 1, 2. You'll see that I'm further securing the ribbon as I add these pieces of dimensional. We can pop that one right in the center of our beautiful silver wreath. Now I'll show you the difference. This one I stamped off like we did in video number 1. This one is full strength gray ink. It's a little bit different there, a little bit different effect. Now let's grab our butterfly and fold up the wings. So hold the body and fold up the opposite wing, switch hands, fold the body and fold up the opposite wing, which gives you a little flat space to add a glue dot. Pick up a glue dot, add it above the sentiment. So pretty. Now let's embellish. You've got some clear rhinestones in your kit. I'm gonna do a large one on the butterfly body, followed by, oh, my glue dot isn't holding very well, is it? It's cold today. Ever notice that the glue dots don't hold quite as well or adhere quite as well when it's cold? They catch up eventually, but temperature switch kind of affects my glue dots. All right, then a medium one. Then to just give everything a little bit more life, we're gonna add some more sparkle. So down here, we'll add 2 small ones. And up here, we'll add 3 small ones. I love all the sparkle and the sweet feminine pink. If you've got any questions about the project, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. If you've got any questions about the host code bonus offer or the new Eden's Garden products, reach out to shop Stampin' Up 24/7. Buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. And if you purchase $82 or more, order the Eden's Garden collection using this host code, I will automatically send you by first class mail the host code bonus packet with all that you see here to make one each of this card, this bag, and this card. Check out the quick links below for the other 2 projects. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.